Hey guys!
Hey guys!
We're the Dorkeries.
We are the Dorkeries. We are home from Comic-Con.
Yep.
Very long week.
Recovering.
Lots of traveling, a few delays getting home, and we're in the process of organizing and editing all of our panel videos and floor videos. A lot of fun stuff to show.
Well, not we. You're doing that.
I'm doing all that. Look at Drew. Look at business Drew.
Work mode, Drew.
Business Drew, and I'm working on getting some of those videos done for you guys. Probably should have like 2 or 3 videos.
Nice.
But this video here, we wanted to do something that we've never done before, which is share an entire panel.
Yeah.
Start to finish. This is our Resident Alien panel. We had front row seats. That doesn't mean that it's the best recording ever, because holding a camera for an entire hour, I'm not a professional.
We had the best view.
I'm not a professional,
so
you might get a...
Out of anybody that could record it, we had the best view.
Anyways, you might get a, Drew knocked me and my camera does this, but the reason that we are doing this is because it was not only, did they say the first Resident Alien panel, it was the last Resident Alien panel. This has become one of our favorite shows. We started new shows last week, and I got through the show and said, I don't want to keep watching this. It's nowhere near as good as Resident Alien. Resident Alien has become the comedy that I judge all other comedies by.
So good.
And we found out sitting in this panel that it's their last season. There was 1 episode left. So cried like a baby through the whole panel.
We did.
And we just decided, since we did have that front row seat and we did have the panel start to finish, and we want to just like support the show. And if you like weird sci-fi comedy, maybe check out Resident Alien.
So good. It streams on Netflix too, I think.
Yeah, I just so when we were in the hotel room, I started over at the beginning.
Yep.
The very first season. So I'm now we've got 1 episode left in the last season, and I've restarted the first season. You'll get 4 complete seasons.
Yeah. And Netflix, if you're watching this, which I know you do all the time, watch our videos, maybe pick them up.
We would love more
Give
Resident
them some
Alien.
more seasons.
And if you're not going to give us some more Resident Alien, find some places for this amazing cast to fit in somewhere else, because they're hilarious.
Chris, he can write some more good shows.
Good stuff.
Chris Sheridan.
Anyways,
shout out Chris Sheridan.
We're going to let you get to the panel, but we wanted to kind of give you a preface. We have never done. We give you snippets of panels usually when we go to Comic-Con, just so you know what we're doing. But here's the whole panel, start to finish. Enjoy it, and go dork yourself on some Resident Alien.
Hey, you know what? We ran into Alice right after this was over.
We saw Alice in her hotel, and Chris.
Yeah, and Chris.
Go dork yourself.
Go dork yourself.
Yeah.
This is, I think, their first time here because of COVID and the strike and production. This is, but this is a good chance for us to do more of a celebration of life, right? Alien and human. So first, I want to first of all congratulate you all for being here and showing exemplary taste in television shows, and introduce. We've got a quick season 4 catch-up clip, so we're going to run that first. That we're about to see, what we've seen, and give you guys a chance to also pay your respects. So let's bring out showrunner, executive producer, and creator Chris Sheridan. So, congratulations to all of you for being able to keep a show on TV for 4 seasons. And to not be on a streamer, to not be filthy dirty, to not have dragons. So, when we got the news last night, I realized I had prepped this panel conversation to be forward-looking, but then I realized this was a great chance for us to also look at everything that you've done. So, Chris, you started back in 2018 with this team.
Yes.
That was a pandemic ago. That was 2 administrations ago. It was, how long were you working on the show even before 2018?
I originally got the Resident Alien comics from Amblin Television, Dark Horse Comics, but Amblin was involved. They sent them to me in October of 2015. So that's how long, it's been 10 years for me. So it took me a year of coming up with what the show was, what the adaptation was before I pitched it, a couple more years of writing before we got the green light for the pilot, started casting the pilot. So I was a few years in before I even met these wonderful actors.
So 4 years in before you started casting.
Yes.
And then so by that point, 3 years. So by that point, you had on paper your idea of these characters.
Yes.
How close did your cast come to those characters, or how much did you get to change those characters because of what the cast brought?
Yeah, it depends on the cast member. They were all pretty close when we cast them, but in getting to know them before the real writing started, I definitely tried to tailor the characters closer to the actors' strengths and their sense of humor, their sensibilities, their emotional responses. And, so it was very tailored to them, but they all really fit the box that we were looking for at the time. The only difference was Alan, who came in and did not do what I expected. I said this before, I didn't know what Harry was. I didn't know who Harry was until Alan came in and auditioned for it. I had a lot of thoughts in my head for what the character would be, and we saw these incredible actors come in and audition for it. And it just wasn't.
Let's talk about those actors. That's just I mean, I know Sir Anthony Hopkins was one.
Yes.
But it just didn't happen.
No, they were incredible actors, but it didn't pop. And then Alan came in. He's one of
Dame Judi Dench.
As Darcy.
over 100 actors we saw, and then Alan came in, and immediately we knew that he was the guy. It was incredible.
So was anyone in
Everyone was incredible. Alan was the very last person that we hired.
Okay, so that's risky.
We were about to shoot in 2 weeks.
Catering was hired before me.
Right. And how did that change the dynamic once you started to see the cast working with him?
Oh, well, it changed everything. I mean, I adjusted the script, obviously, to what Alan was doing. And then he also took the script and put his spin on stuff that was already there. But what we found out immediately when Alan came on board is you felt like there was chemistry anyway with the other cast members just before we started shooting. Then Alan came in, and you never know. Like, you never know when you bring another actor into the group what it's going to feel like. And everyone gelled around Alan, and the chemistry, especially between Sarah and Alan, was incredible. And over time, you've seen it. Alan has chemistry with all of them. They have chemistry with each other, and that's not something you can really cast. And that's something you hope for when you pull in actors. And we got incredibly lucky finding that lightning in a bottle they talk about, where all these people work together so incredibly well.
And that is, when you say lightning in a bottle, it is truly, this ensemble has, over the course of these 4 seasons, just proven to be absolutely, it is like a theater troupe. Anything you've thrown to these actors, they have been able to handle and also, no offense to the writing, elevate to an emotional level.
No, 100% elevated.
Well, their performances have gotten so textured over these 4 years, where we feel, and for the actors now, you guys have lived with these characters for so long. We've only had 4 seasons, but you've been working so much longer than 4 years.
Right.
How has playing these characters changed you?
Alice? I'm older. Than when I started. When I started, I was younger and
kind of laugh. My laugh has gotten a little out of control. My personal laugh.
My personal laugh.
Lives inside of you.
I out myself in movie theaters. That alien guy.
This show completely changed my life. And Asta is someone I will cherish for the rest of my life. And, you know, she's a lot more conservative than me. I don't wear leather jackets or jeans most of the time, but I took my Asta jeans home, and now I'm wearing them out.
Asta is someone I will cherish for the rest of my life.
Get out of here. Stop it.
Before I met you, I was speaking of jeans. I was in wardrobe on the pilot, and they were like, Canadian. Oh yeah, hi. We just had this actress who played Austin here, hey. And
No offense.
tried on some jeans, and she's never worn jeans before, hey. And I was like, how has someone never worn jeans? What is this weird, freakish person? And then I met you.
Thank you.
This character for me, Mike is very close to my heart. I'd say the thing that's changed the most for me is Chris gave us an opportunity to run with our impulses sometimes. And so getting an opportunity to do that and learning to trust that I can do that is probably how I've changed. I feel more confident, frankly, in myself. Not just when I'm out and about walking around strutting, but overall, in general, I feel creatively a little more confident through this experience.
Chris, I want to ask, what sides did you give them to read for their auditions? Because the show so well blends the comedy with the drama. So how did you kind of suss out if they can handle both?
It's a great question, and that was a long time ago.
I don't know if this is the same scene because I don't know the story, but I auditioned with the him taking intestines out of a cadaver
That was
scene,
Alan's.
and I was like, "You're so weird."
Autopsy.
He was like, "What's wrong with this?" And he was like holding intestines. That was
I think that was one of Alan's scenes as well.
okay. That's cool.
That one, and then also the poking you in the pilot, like, hey, who else is alive? And I think that it goes into the first country.
The one where we're in the pilot looking out, which was a lake but turned into mountains, and I'm in the snow and my bare feet. You know it. That also was a scene that I had to do.
And that was an emotional scene, and that definitely gave a sense of what they could do.
What
A
about
lot of nude photos.
Weird.
Weird.
It was a different time.
what about Mike though? Because he's such a tricky character.
I think one of the scenes was the beginning scene where he first sees Harry. Do you remember that?
Yes, and I remember we improv'd a little bit in the room, and then we did the scene. I think it ended up getting cut from the pilot where I'm talking to Nick. Can you write on can you use a pencil to write on an eraser and all this stuff? But yeah, that ended up getting cut. Guess it wasn't that good. It was good enough to give me the job, but not to make the cut. We like you, but not that much. But yeah, I think that was my audition scene.
And Darcy, Alice was only in 2 scenes, I think, in the pilot. She had a smaller role in the pilot. So it was the bar scene she was in. And then the last part of the pilot that she was in, she didn't even, that wasn't written in the script. She was so good in the earlier scene. I remember when we were shooting the last scene, I told them, can you fly her back here for that last cemetery scene? And would give her a line. And then when she got here, and she was in the cemetery scene, it was pretty much, we're gonna put the camera on you and say something funny. And you said that line that ended up being in the trailer.
Yeah. All right.
That was I remember the audition was, I think, only like comedic. So you didn't know when you hired me if I could act or not.
I have no idea.
And I didn't know either. So we're rolling the dice.
When you're sitting down with the writers and you're going through the scripts, because you now know, and you knew pretty early on what they could do, how did you find that balance and maintain the balance of comedy and improv? Because there's so many scenes where a joke would work, but it might dilute the emotion.
Yeah, that is a balance that we had to learn very early on. And the key to it on this show is that all the comedy had to come from a grounded character voice. And it can still be funny, but it all had to come out of character. And as long as you do that, then the emotional, connected moments will still work. The sort of X factor that we had was Harry, whose grounded reality place was so much more hyped and higher than everybody else's. So, for instance, if we had a scene where Mayor Ben was sucking milk out of a cow's teeth, that would play very broad and not in harmony with the tone. But if you have the alien climbing under a cow and sucking on its teeth to get milk, because it plays, it's ridiculous, but it plays within Harry's reality, that you can do a scene like that that's incredibly funny, but still have the emotional stuff and the stakes of the danger.
I know, the cow was really upset.
The cow was really
I think they filed a complaint, didn't it?
I think Alan took it home.
Human resources. It was like, like, really?
That's why there's no season 5.
I'm a vegetarian.
Lawsuits, people.
I remember in the pilot shooting the first scene with Sarah and Alan at the bar, and that's when I got really terrified because I realized, oh, it's both. I have to play this character true to life, and I also have to react to this person that if in real life I ever met, you know. And so it really actually, it was terrifying at first because the first time I saw Alan as Harry, I was like, oh no. How am I supposed to do this? But it really became, and the other thing was, for the other characters, it was like you had to befriend him, you had to deal with him as a neighbor. Darcy had to date him and want to date him. So it ended up
It's your face.
It ended up informing the character in both comedically and dramatically because I thought, well, who would want to date this guy? And a little bit, that was me, you know? I was like, yeah, I can see that. But then again, it's like, from the dramatic perspective, who would want to date somebody like who seems so dangerous? And that person is kind of broken inside. So from both perspectives, it actually helped me inform who Darcy was.
You should know this is exactly what it's like on the set. This is why it takes us a year and a half in between seasons.
So let's talk about set, because I've been on set a bunch of times, and it is so cool. But I got to watch Alan directing at the beginning of the season. So, Alan, how was it?
It was hard. It was a lot of fun. I learned a lot about myself. It's tough to direct yourself. I think that remains, and I've done it now a couple of times, and that is the hardest part about it, because you have to, what ends up happening is you're in scenes, I prefer when I'm acting to kind of get done with the scene and somebody goes, oh, I thought that was great when you did that thing, and I love that I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like I don't make any memories from that. I just go into a thing and I get done, I come out the other side.
You black out.
I black out. Vomit, sweater. Yeah. Spaghetti. So anyway,
when you're directing, there's a tendency to have to kind of be watching with another eye at the scene, at your fellow actors. So you're not as in it as you would normally be. So that was a little tough.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And you were playing multiple versions of yourself.
Right.
So you had to direct several.
Right.
How was he?
The other guy was like, just the worst. Handful. I smoked lots of cigarettes.
Oh, God.
Those were disgusting.
It was getting real Wall Street.
It was very Michael
vibes.
All right, so for Alice and Corey and Sarah, how was Alan as a director?
No, we don't need it.
Well, now it's funny because when we didn't know we were canceled yet, we couldn't talk about what we really thought. That was some of the most fun I had on this whole series. I mean, Alan is incredible as an actor, and I didn't doubt that you'd be able to get into it when you needed to and be Harry, but it was fun to watch you struggle a little bit and see, both sides of this. But I love being directed by you because we're both funny, we're both cut-ups, and I love that you get that I'm funny and that we laugh all the time. But it was so fun to have you, to be able to learn from you in that way. I think it was like very valuable to me.
Thank you.
Whatever.
I thought Alan did an amazing job. You're directing yourself again, playing a character, pretending to be another character who's pretending to be another character. It was pretty amazing to watch, and honestly, I feel like his episodes were some of the strongest of the season. So.
Thank you.
I hated it. No, actually, it was really fun because I wasn't sure how you were going to direct yourself when you and I were in a scene, and then you invited your amazing, talented wife to the set, who's an incredible visionary and director herself, and it was so cool to see the two of you interacting, her showing you your own footage, you seeing what you needed to do, then me getting to watch you as the actor put it on and then come back into the scene with me. It was quite extraordinary and fun, and you always had these great moments and ideas of the pinch and the ouch with the jokes in the scenes, and a little bit like a choreography that we didn't have with other directors, and I really loved that.
Yeah, I like the comedy part of it, especially. I like seeing the scene, and it's not unlike what we did before with just the regular seasons. Like if there's a scene that you get, oh wait, I could come to Chris and say, I have an idea here. It would just if this line was here and this line was here, I could do this bit. But as the director, I guess it's exactly the same. Except I have to then figure out how to shoot it. Like I have more tools in my toolkit on how I can tell a joke. And so I was able to some of them really work.
Did it give you more empathy for directors that come in?
No, God, he's good. Yeah, absolutely, and very impressed. And it's just we are so, because of the our budget was tight. It was a tight budget, and that changes things. You have no time. And sometimes it's like you're at a point in the day, and it's like everybody gets 2 takes. We're at the 2-take time of the day. Oh my God! How limiting is that? So you're like, luckily everybody's a pro. And people, a lot of times, people are used to it in the cast, where there was times where people didn't even notice it, I feel like. Yeah. Nobody said, why do I only... It's like, no, we got it, good, let's go. Yeah. There's like being good actors, being professional about everything, and then also being able to deliver in those high stakes moments that make that's the caliber you need.
There are some actors that aren't here today, so I want to give mention to the rest of our cast, because this cast, again, I cannot say enough about this ensemble. And I got to watch Alan directing Corey and Liv in the diners. It's the 59 scene with the wings.
Oh yeah.
In the season premiere. And every time she walked on to this, I cracked up. She is a sniper with these jokes. Corey, talk about the evolving relationship you have with her, because it is so cool to watch where they've gotten to
Yes.
before.
Elizabeth Bowen, who plays Deputy Liv on the show. I will let her know that. You know, it was an instant kind of connection. We didn't meet until the table read. We sat right next to each other. But we discovered very quickly that we understood each other's humor, we understood each other's timing, and we're very good at passing the ball back and forth. But if you're not careful, you know, Liz will steal the scene. She will steal the scene. I don't know if the audience notices, but she and I have a game we play where each of us try to get the last line in the scene. So some of those final lines at the end of our scenes, those are ones that oftentimes might be improvised, because we literally, and they let us go before, and it'll just be she and I laughing while everyone else is like, okay, I guess we got it, right? We can cut? No, we gotta keep going. But I couldn't imagine sharing this space on this show with anyone other than her. She is probably the best, if not one of the best scene partners I've ever worked with. She's been a gift this entire 7 years we've been together. So,
Levi and Meredith, Mayor Ben and Kate, they've come so far as well, and I feel like Alice, you have gotten to do so many important scenes with them that have really kind of informed all of your growth. You okay?
Okay. Stop saying nice things. Yeah, I mean, just comedically speaking, like, I think Meredith Garrettson came in and she's a powerhouse dramatic actor, and you can see her in all sorts of other projects, but she is, like, unbelievable. She's so good. And you act in a scene with her and you're like, okay, well, I'll try to catch up. And then Levi is as well. Like, they'll surprise you. But they're also some of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. And I've become really close friends with them. And that's the other thing about the entirety of the cast. Like, we like each other, you know? Like, we rely on each other as coworkers. And, you know, I think we all respect each other a great
and
deal.
as alibis.
When needed, yes. But we really, really like each other. And that's where you get the chemistry from. And I don't know how we got lucky that way. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't really work out where everyone who comes in adds instead of takes. And it's been like that for 7 years somehow. So I guess we've had to, and somewhere else somebody's gonna be turning into a monster, and it's probably me.
Well, so you mentioned people that have come in and added. The people you've had come in have been amazing. Linda Hamilton. Oh, Edie Patterson. Oh, my Lord. We talked about this at another event, but I have to ask about the dinner scene. Yes! It is something that has stayed with me forever.
So
what was that day like for everyone on set?
Oh, God.
I did. Well, so it was a kissing scene. There was a point. The dinner scene was. There was a whole scene there of us. I brought a bird over. My girlfriend, who happened to be a avian bird. But we looked like ourselves. We were in our human form, and we were having a dinner, which didn't. You made chicken, which was rude. So there were problems, and so she had to eat birdseed because she wasn't going to be able to eat the meal. And in the script it says, you know, she's spitting out the shells like how birds will do. You've ever seen them? They're like, they peel them apart, eat the little thing out, and then they just drop the shell. Well, for Edie, that just meant picking up a handful of sunflower seeds, popping her mouth, kind of swishing them around a little bit, and then just going, spitting them in your face and in your face.
Yeah.
And they're like tinging off of wine glasses.
Yeah. Not even off of, like in the wine, on the plates. Yes. We were like picking birdseed off.
And then when the kiss came, there was a line that said, "They kissed. It's awkward." So we were like, "So what do you want to do? What are your thoughts?" And I said, "I would love it if you, at one point, just take a bunch of those sunflower seeds, chew them up, and regurgitate them into my mouth."
Everybody's got a kink, right? Everybody's got a kink.
That is a different convention.
Until now.
And she said, "I got you."
I got you, baby.
She knew, yeah, it was wild. And we did it a little differently every time.
Yes.
The spitting didn't work.
Remember, we did shoot it.
We did
It
shoot
was
it.
hysterically funny. Well, the problem was she spit a couple and then couldn't. She started laughing.
Yeah. But when I saw the take, and I'm down like this, and I come back up, and because I'd asked her to shotgun blast him into my mouth. Pepper my face.
You know, like you're in love, right?
That is love.
I love it. And she's laughing, and I can't take her anymore. And I come up, and you can see I am. It's like I'm drunk. I look wasted. I'm just I was so happy to get to play at that level, just insanity.
I think that was the moment she sucked on your tongue and your cheeks started coming out. Like you just let it happen at that point.
Blowing in your mouth.
Yeah.
Blowing in my mouth, and I started sticking my tongue out. Yeah, it was none of it was planned. It was just we'd start off. It was crazy.
And then Sarah and Alice's reactions to everything that was going on was part of the fun as
Well,
well.
we never knew what you were gonna do.
Yeah, when they read the
You guys
script,
literally went into, didn't they they kind of turned around like,
Yeah.
yeah, they planned it.
you know, and we were like, oh God, what is happening? And then they're like, rolling, you know, and
When
we're
I
like,
read the script,
right.
when I read the script that said they kiss, it's awkward. I thought that meant they kiss, it's awkward because you're at a dinner party and the other people there are like, well, you're kissing. And Alan and Edie read it differently. That's the magic of
She would write.
day.
I'm pretty sure we had to ask you to leave for us to get actual footage of us not saying that. I think we were like, can you tone it down for our coverage?
They were like, how do you keep a straight face during that scene? I was like, oh, well, it was a different day.
Mentioning, so the comedy, we're all going to remember that. You've also talked about some very, very important themes. You've touched on very important things, and every character has had something to sort of deal with, and it's always been addressed with such delicacy. Where did you start to look at the characters and the actors and think, oh, we can do this with this character?
It's a great question. And again, it depends on the character and the moment. And I mean, I always wanted the show to not only be funny, but to have deep emotional content as well. So when we were casting, definitely wanted funny actors, but actors who could be grounded and play emotions. And then, going through the seasons, we got up into a lot of that season one. And it just comes out of the writing. It comes out of the moments. It comes out of what you need to tell the story. And knowing that you can lean on these actors to really play these moments and trying to pull out the emotions from the characters, knowing that that's what gets the audience to really lean into the TV and love these people. So it all depends. It all comes at different times. Like I knew, like for Corey, there was the big one with Corey, which I knew we needed to do because Sheriff Mike was very sort of aloof and, making fun of everything. And we brought his father in to humanize him a little bit in the beginning. But I always felt it was important to give him a moment where we really understand who he is and his background. And like, for instance, so for Sheriff Mike, the big moment was when he opens up to Deputy Liv about his partner who he had lost. And it was a beautiful, beautiful scene, and it was the first time we really could see, A, the trauma that Sheriff Mike has gone through, and B, what an unbelievable dramatic actor Corey is, which we've seen before in the show. so many times, like when in the 10th episode of the first season, when Asta goes over to Harry's and she finds out that he killed someone and says, "I'm not your friend," and the look on Alan's face is absolutely heartbreaking, because he thought she was his friend, and he's a child who just lost his best friend.
And you're just in your tears for the first time.
He
You were like,
cried for the
what's
first time.
happening to me?
Yeah,
It was
it
so
was-
beautiful.
Yeah, they've all had those moments, and it's incredible to watch. And there's more, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Buckle up.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially for Red.
Yeah, Red's got it.
Yeah.
Buckle up.
On the page, a lot of people I think might look at the show when it was starting and it's like, oh, so he crash lands and he has this nurse and they'll be like, oh, will they, won't they thing. You've never played that. You've never dared to like just go that easy route. But what you have done, as we've noticed over the course, is that you have built tiny little love stories amongst all of the characters that are both, some are romantic, some are platonic, but they're all rooted in love stories. The friendship between Asta and Harry, the friendship between Asta and Darcy, Liv and Corey, or Liv and Mike, the little, and the love stories that we're watching, Ben and Kate, these things where we are now not only just rooting for mankind to survive, but for these couples to thrive and these relationships to be healthy and get back on track. For the actors, when you're in those scenes with your partner, basically, how difficult is it to really separate yourself from that character because you have lived with each other for so long?
Well,
We don't.
we don't. Yeah, we do and we don't. I mean, we obviously are in a fantastic world of patience, and an alien has crash landed, and that is, I don't think normal, but maybe it is. I don't know. In some small towns, so the circumstances are really out of this world, truly. But the way that Chris wrote these characters, being from a small town, all growing up, sort of knowing each other, having these differences and having these ways they like each other or don't, I think is so relatable to us as an audience, to people watching, because we are always rooting for good to win over evil in every way. It's even for us to, win over our own demons. And so I feel like that's a through line in a lot of different characters for different reasons. And I just think it just makes it that much more relatable. So then when Harry comes along and really like stirs things up, it is such a great balance of that comedy and drama that you're talking about.
Yeah. I think it was easier for us, like, we didn't all have this, we didn't all have this huge body of work where we'd all gotten attached to characters besides Alan, who played Wash in one of my favorite shows. To not name a million other characters that I loved that he played, but I got to meet Sarah when I met Asta. So our relationship began as this professional relationship, and the same with Sheriff Mike and Liz Bowen and everyone really. It was a little harder with people like Alan, but Alan was so in it from the beginning, and he commanded Harry, but it was hard, like, with people that I knew. Like, I knew Michael Cassidy, who plays Dr. Ethan from People of Earth, and it's really hard to play a dating scene with him, because he's like a brother to me, and that was a little weird. And Gary Farmer is somebody I've been a fan of for a really long time, and that was, you get a little nervous because he's kind of a legend. So
I think your question was about like how do those moments, like how do they? I think if you're doing this properly, you're not really, you're acting in the moment because you're saying words that are on the page, but the emotion that you're tapping into is, at least for me, is 100% real. It is 100% real, that pain you see. As a matter of fact, when Chris was talking about the scene with Deputy Liv on the bench where Mike, talks about how he lost his partner, he and I spoke about that ahead of time, and
we drew some connections to some personal experiences that I had had in my life. So I think most actors who really see this as a craft, just like an athlete, you leave it on the floor. As an actor, you leave it on the screen, you leave it on the set. It's the exact same emotion, it's the exact same energy. The only thing that's different is the cameras are there to capture.
Right. So now that we have, Chris has gone on record saying you went into the season expecting this to be, yes, very much to be the end. So you have crafted the season to bring this in for Orlando.
Yes. Yeah, I knew. I mean, look, at the end of season 3, I put in a bunch of cliffhangers, hoping that would get us to season 4, and it didn't hurt. Season 4. But I didn't think I'd win that battle again, and the way the industry is these days, I really believed going into season 4, especially with some of the budget cuts and stuff, I didn't believe there was going to be a season 5. And I didn't want to play that game again. Oh, are we going to get picked up or not? And look, anything can happen, but I knew the smart thing was, and this was a year ago now, last July, the smart thing was to plan on it being over after the season and to finish telling this story so when we walk away, we're proud of what we've done and the story is told and the fans can feel satisfied. So with myself and the writers, we crafted a season that wraps up storylines and gives the audience a very satisfying conclusion to the 4 seasons that you've been watching. I couldn't be more proud of it. I mean, it's hard, really hard to come up with a season finale, incredibly hard to come up with a satisfying series finale. And I'm so proud of where we ended up this season and how the season was that I really can't, I know I said this in the quote, but I can't wait for people to see it. I think people are going to love it.
And not to spoil anything, but I think it tees up a potential movie.
There's a couple movies.
Yeah.
Maybe
The Vanderverse.
the Vanderverse, right.
The Resident Alien versus Predator. Definitely.
It's always sunny and patient. See, there's a lot we can do.
I also last year when we started writing the show and when we started shooting, I told the cast that I believed this was the last season. So we should really, when we're going up to Vancouver and we're shooting, we should really appreciate every moment of it. So as we were shooting, there was an awareness that this was probably it, and I feel like I know I approached it differently, and I know I appreciated things in a different way. But I literally had on my calendar as we were getting closer to the end of the season, the days that the different sets would shoot for the last time. So, like the last day we shot on the 59, we knew when that was coming. And I remember Alice, had a moment after that. The last time we shot in the clinic, the last time we shot in the Hawthorne House, Carrie's cabin, these were big moments where we spent a year kind of saying goodbye a little bit, not only to each other, but also to the work we did and the sets, that we shot on for so many hours. So it was good to make that decision early for us, and as it turns out, it was what ended up happening. So.
Yeah. I mean, I'm never going to say goodbye to these guys because I learned to put cameras in people's houses. Always do that now. My friends that are close to me. But I just want to say something about the state of the industry. We know that you guys deserve more Resident Alien. You guys deserve more than you're getting out of a lot of shows and a lot of movies. And the industry is in a state of disarray, we'll say. It's been disrupted. Thanks, tech, for that. But I think in a perfect world where TV was normal, we would have way more Resident Alien. And the only reason that that's not true is not because anybody behind the show doesn't want it to be true. It's because of the way that the industry works now and the machines, kind of. But in many ways, I just want to acknowledge that you do deserve more of this, and you deserve more of everything that you love. So, and we do this for you.
working and 5 years on air from luck. I think there's an incredible chemistry as a cast and crew, but mostly it is because you watched us and you loved us. So thank you to our fans for keeping us alive all these years.
I also think in this current climate of business that we needed to be canceled so that we could become an IP, that we could be revived like that.
I can't wait to play Darcy's mom.
Oh, also, if you just because it's a charity thing and it has to do with the show, all of the alien heads, when I did the makeup, they would take this part off as kind of useless afterwards, but the head part, they throw that in the trash and then I pick it out of the trash. And if you go on my Instagram, Alan Tudyk, I have 20 of them, and all the money is going to go to helping this. It's a group in Fort Worth that gives money that's been cut from arts programs in public schools. So the money that we raise for that.
His sweat is still in there.
You can Jurassic Park your own Alan. As a thank you to all of you, we do have an exclusive clip from episode 208 that we'd like to show. 408, thank you. That we'd like to show you now before we get to some quick audience questions. So let's roll that. Audience questions. I hear that they change where the mic goes. Right? Oh, there we go.
It still goes out your mouth.
Yes.
My name is Franklin. My question is for Alan Tudyk.
Yes.
If Haley had a podcast about Earth or the aliens living on Earth, what would it be called and what would it be about?
Let me turn to my writer. What would Harry's podcast be called? I don't. Yeah, probably some kind of son of a bitch. I don't know. This is some bullshit with Harry Vanderstreet.
Hi, my name is Sebastian, and this is also a question for Alan. What was your favorite moment with Edie Patterson, other than the Birdseed stuff?
Other than this stuff, Edie Patterson, in this season, we said goodbye to one another. Spoiler if you haven't seen that episode, but there's a poem, and she asks me to say the poem in my language because it's so beautiful. And Chris was nice enough I got to write the poem, and there's a few different versions of it. I kept like, oh wait, no, it has to be this one now. And the poem is very beautiful, and it's very stilted language, but I'm saying it in my language, which is like that. Say, alas, our time is coming to a close. And it was just so beautiful. It actually was very sad. And it was again the type of thing that we could do in this show, where you have absurdity with something very heartfelt happening at the same time. So it was that. Thank you.
My name is Kevin, and thank you for giving us 4 great seasons of a wonderful, fun show. I just wanted to ask a quick question. What are you guys going to miss most?
Each other.
Because actors, after they're done with shows, don't talk to one another.
Can't. It's a legal thing. That's why the cameras.
I'm gonna miss having a job in Vancouver.
Yes.
Like you won't have one next Tuesday.
Yeah.
But you won't have one next Tuesday. You have
I see. Oh, great. What do you know? All right.
I'm going to miss just the beautiful routine and consistency. As an actor, you don't really get that a lot in our business, so it's our version of a 9 to 5, and that comfort you feel when you walk in and everybody knows your name. That's why we put that in, that whole vibe. Everyone's saying hi to each other, and then knowing exactly what to do, when to do it, and then going home and having dinner in Vancouver. Yeah, I'm gonna miss that.
You are trying so hard not to cry right
Shut up. I'm just like.
now. You'll miss the people, won't you?
Yeah.
The love that we had.
Oh,
Closeness.
shut up.
It's the closeness that it's gone now. Shut up!
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Let's go to this one.
This next question comes from Sec Unit.
Hey, Sec Unit.
Hello, I am Jeff.
Sure, Jeff.
Say there was a murder bot who was a fan of your show. Who would they reach out to ask for more episodes of President
And the person who owns the company that owns the company that owns the person that owns the company.
Yeah, hashtag Resident Alien versus Predator.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, there won't be another season of this show right now. I do think. Oh, is it happening?
She just found out.
I do think down the road, I do hope for a movie or something like that down the road. And I think that's a plausible thing, and that's something that USA does do. And no time soon. It's not like I have ideas or anything on that. That's not it. But I think that's something that could happen. I don't know about another season, but the industry is always changing. Who knows?
I'm so sorry, I have to nerd out for a second, but I think if it was Murderbot, he would probably hack into the funding from Grey Chris and move it over studios with the demarcation specifically for the show. So, yeah. Bit of a Murderbot fan.
This is going to be our last one.
Hi, I'm Boots Miller.
Boots.
And so Harry Vanderspiegel, you said Predator. I'm thinking maybe you're a Terminator hunter.
Oh, there you go.
Just saying.
I like it. I like all of where that goes. Any of those storylines, there's a lot of humor to be had. I feel sorry for all of you. It's going to be a tough slog. You don't have,
I want to see Linda Hamilton pull off her face and be Linda Hamilton. That moment. The big reveal. Yeah, that's what she was all along.
Here you go. Last one. Here we go.
Love the show, big fan. My question is for Corey Reynolds. I was a big fan of yours on The Closer. It was a big It was very jarring for me to see you say the lines that you I just want to know, with the I laugh the loudest when you say those crazy lines. How do you not break? And how do you not, and do your fellow cast members also break when you're singing?
Yes. First of all, thank you. We do break. It definitely happens. I've seen episodes of our show where I'm looking at our reverse coverage, especially in scenes when I'm with Alan, and I can see my shoulders. You guys don't always see it, and Chris is very clever of cutting around it. But it is difficult. We're human. Laughing is like a sneeze. It's an instant reaction to something. It's not something you can always control or something that you always want to control. But it is, we get away with a lot of stuff. Chris let us get away with a lot of stuff. But yeah, we definitely have our moments where, it all falls apart. So.
Chris, one time you said that you made this show for us, and I think that you make the art that you make for the people that you love, and the people that make the show are the people that Chris loves, and he wants to make a show that we enjoy making first and foremost, and I think that is why people love it so much. I think that's why it comes across. But I will say, if you do a rewatch, watch Levi, because I'm sure he breaks on camera multiple times.
Like the
Incredibly
Jimmy
funny
Fallon.
guy. I'd love to see him do like a show that The Adventures of Clark Kent, where he never turns into Superman.
That was Smallville.
Maybe it's like Bart Kent. It's like
I was in the phone booth and he's just hiding in there to the.
Just anxious. He's sitting in his therapist's office talking. You know, I don't know. I'd watch that. It'd be an audience of one.
All right, so
I have one last question.
Oh, go ahead.
Sarah,
No.
was it hard to say goodbye to Alice?
You think
Like, no one
maybe in
can
many
decide.
ways, like, you'll never say goodbye because
This is where
we're linked.
Boyz II Men is going to start playing.
Thank you for that question, Chris. I really appreciate you. And Alice and I live in the same town, so no, it was not hard to say goodbye, but it was hard for us to say goodbye to Darcy, and to know that I'll never, not never, but in the foreseeable future, we don't know when we'll get to see Asta and Darcy together again. That definitely makes me very sad. So that is very hard.
But for a little, but for a little taste, you can listen to Treks in the City podcast, where Sarah will be joining me.
There you go. So the whole show really, the show has been about connection and about family, and this season especially. And again, the fans are part of this family. This show has been so special to so many of us, to you guys, to the viewers, and something that I love to do when a show gets to have its final panel is, would you please stand up, go in front of the table, and take your final bow?